All right. We have a full house, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys know if you're here to connect. You're here to come from a place of serving, a place of abundance. You're coming from a place of love and definitely a place of serving without expectation. And a lot of people in business can get stuck in the two worlds, right? There's the world of who and what I am in my spiritual growth, in my personal development, and my need to love and to serve and to give. And then we have this predominantly ego and heady type of driven business that is in conflict, right? It's like, do I love unconditionally and grow this? But then when I focus on growing my business and the numbers and selling, it very much goes out of alignment because there's a focus on expectation. There's a focus on what you can get. There's a focus on more of that masculine attached to outcomes. And from what I found and what you guys are finding is that it's the blending of the two. It's the molding of serving from your heart and being from a place of unconditional love that can actually grow your business. And this is what I've been doing for the last couple of years, is just building my network, building my online community here, and just building genuine relationships and serving from my heart. And what I found was, as a byproduct, my business started growing. It wasn't my primary focus on increasing the numbers of the group or the income or the amount of clients, but that happened as a byproduct of me serving from my heart. And I find this is where the heightened level of the consciousness of the planet is really going. And so you guys are here because you understand that. And I'm just excited to provide the platform and house the environment for you to do that, which is why these calls have been so popular and why I'm getting messages all the time of you guys saying who you met and how you're collaborating and how you're working together and doing all these really cool things. So it's just been a pleasure. So before we get started in inviting some people on, as always, it's helpful to remember a time when you were in this state, right? When you're in the state of serving. And so what a lot of us do, for those of you who might be new to these calls, before we jump onto any connections, we just like to remember a time in the past when you gave unconditionally. It might have been a random act of kindness. It might have been you were just generous with your love, your time, your energy, right? Your resources, whatever it may be, where you did it not because of what you could get, not because of the accolades, not because of how you would look, but because it was a pull from your heart that said, this is the right thing to do. This is who I am. So think about a time when that was true for you, where you just felt called, felt pulled to serve and to give in that manner. And as you breathe and as you remember that time and as you get back to this present moment, you can start to bring that energy into this call. And that's what everyone will be doing. What you'll find is the people on this call are looking to grow their business as a byproduct of just serving. I'm just asking, how may I serve? What can I send your way in terms of a resource? Who can I connect you with that's in my network that might be a good fit? Who's an ideal client or a key source of collaboration that I can send your way? Or maybe we can do some collaboration or some service exchange ourselves so we can help each other from a place that's, not attached to any outcomes, but just doing it because that's who we are. And the reason why this is so powerful is because a lot of us are focused, especially in business, we can get really focused on what we can get. And obviously that comes from a scarce mindset. It comes from a place that is our internal 5-year-old that says, if I don't get what I want, I might not feel safe or enough or worthy or loved. But when you give because it's who you are, you feel that abundance because you know that love, that unconditional worthiness isn't something you can get. It's something that you give because it's who you are. And you can give from an endless abundance when that's flowing through you. And you remind yourself of that. You remind yourself of who and what you are when you serve in this way. So on that note, those who are part of the Patreon, for those of you who might be new, a lot of these members who jump on this call are part of what I call the Patreon of Purpose. And we contribute to some really cool causes around the world each month. So I've got the numbers. I mentioned this last week, but there's been another really cool cause that, that's been added to the group. So this is what we did this month. A total of 2,040 impacts. And this is through B1G1. So we have granted 40 days of healthcare and mental support to victims of abuse in Nepal. In Cambodia, we've provided 1,220 days worth of support of farmers through the form of vegetable seeds to help sustain hunger in those areas. And this one's my favorite. I don't know why this is my favorite one. We've granted 780 phone calls for those who have been saved, for children who have been saved from human trafficking in Vietnam. I don't know why that one just really resonates with me. For someone who's been saved from trafficking in Vietnam, just granting them just the beautiful notion of calling home. How awesome is that? And so everyone who's part of that, awesome. It really touches my heart to be able to do that each month and just to contribute the way we can. And so that's what this is all about, hey? So before I get teary, let's invite some people on. First of all, one thing I'd love to do is something a bit different. It's my sister's birthday today. So what I'd love to do, I can't see her because we're back on lockdown. So one thing I'd love to do, if you guys are up for it, is to all wish her a happy birthday in the chat on my command. We'll all do it at the same time. I film it on my phone. And when I say go, you can all type in happy birthday, Zoe. Her name's Zoe, Z-O-E, Zoe. And if you guys could type in happy birthday and I can send that to her, that would mean actually a lot to her. She loves this sort of spontaneous stuff. So who's up for that? Type in yes if you're up for it. And we can wish her a happy birthday, and I'll try and film it on my phone. That would be really funny. Okay, everyone get ready to type in happy birthday. And when I say go, we'll make it happen. All right. Here we are. 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Awesome. We did it. Happy birthday, Zoe. Well, this is all about. Hey, thanks so much, guys. She'll love that. All right. Now we're all in an awesome mood, awesome type of frame of mind, and in a heart space to serve, to give, to be resourceful and creative with how we can work together. Let's invite some people on. Now, John, do you want to pop on and share what you're all about? I'll turn this heater off because I'm getting warm. John, I can invite you to as a panelist, and you can jump on and share what you are all about. Here we are, my friend. When your Zoom catches up, feel free to say hi.
Hello, how are you, Tyson?
I'm good. I'm good, John. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome.
This is such it's so much fun to be on this call with everybody.
Yeah.
And it looks like you have a great program going here. So
yeah,
very cool.
This is what it's all about. Hey, I find that when you're growing business, when you're growing your community, when you're doing content, if it's not fun, then something's off. You know, something's out of line. And I just do this just because it's fun. So everyone, feel free to say hi to John. He's amazing. Although we don't personally know each other all that well, I am aware of what you're doing and the awesome mission you have. So I'd love for you to share with the group what you're all about and what you're up to.
Well, what I'm up to is I have a website called Love on Every Billboard, and so almost it'll be 2 years in November that had come up with an idea about just putting the word love on a billboard, and it's in bright red background and the white letters, and it started just as a social experience, just to see what would happen. It came out of a coaching call that I was with a gentleman named Kyle Cease, who was a mentor of mine. And so, I just threw that idea out there one day, and that I was going to do this. And he loved the idea so much that he helped support it and get it started. And then one of his assistants came up the next day, and she goes, I built a website for you because I know you don't have a website. So it's called Love on Every Billboard, and run with it. Whatever you want to do with it, do with it. So it was amazing because talk about collaboration and getting something started and going, when I had just thought I'll just buy a billboard, just see what happens. And I never knew that it was going to get started, just get into a flow like this. So it did. It started, and more people from our group decided, well, now since you have a website and you have a PayPal button, we can give you money. So they started giving me money for that. And all we did, we started to put the word love on a billboard. And so out of that came three different songs for Love on Every Billboard. And right now we've been in 5 different countries: New Zealand and Austria and Ukraine and Canada, and 3 of the different provinces in Canada, and then 12 states in the United States. So we've been around the world already, and we are doing our best to manifest. And I know Jennifer Forster is involved in this, of getting Love on Every Billboard in Australia.
Yeah.
It's been in New Zealand, and we thought, I'm going to use a phrase that I heard from my friends in New Zealand, was like, you can kick this across the ditch to Australia and see what they do with it. So
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And I know Jennifer has been putting some good energy into making this happen. And she said, why don't you get on this call, with these guys and talk to them about it. So that's what I'm here for. And there was, you were talking earlier about, have this heartfelt business, and how can we make any money off of it? And I tell you, that went through my mind a lot, because it was like, okay, so you're going to do this, but, and then I just kind of let go of that idea that it'll ever make any money. And just let people see it for what it is. And when they do, and now it had been on the Today Show. The idea was on the Today Show, and also had been in Russia. But so many people, all of a sudden, they see this happening and they go, I want to do this too. And it seems like the less I did with it, the more the universe wanted to push it around the world.
Yeah.
And so I've just kind of totally let go of the idea of making any money off it. But it also has caused me to, or had me make up a different business. And that was a coaching business I wanted to have. And so, so I'm working on that, and that's through coasttocoastcompany.com. So I'm working on that. And I also found it was a great avenue to use my coaching skills when people would get this, hey, I would like to do a billboard in my city, in my country, but I don't know how to do it, and I'm not feeling like I'm worthy enough to do something like that, or have the ability to do it. So it gave me a great opportunity just to coach them around that opportunity and idea of, this is how you do it, and it doesn't have to be hard, and it can be done with ease and flow. And so just making that happen for people. So
Cool.
it's been
Awesome.
fun. Been a lot of
Awesome.
fun. Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes.
So first of all, those of you who might not know, or if you are trying to visualize this, the billboards that John's organizing is just a billboard with just love on it. It's just written love. There's
Yeah.
no branding, no anything like that. It's just written love. I believe you've also been in a film clip, a Jason Mraz film clip. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. That's funny that it just came up one day and it goes, and a friend sent it to me and he goes, "You're in the Jason Mraz video," and I go, "What?"
Yeah, I
And
saw
so
that.
yeah, I got it, and I go, I don't even know who this guy was, and then I started listening to all his music, and it's like, this guy's amazing, and then
Yeah,
have an opportunity to be in that, so it was pretty cool. But
yeah,
this is all it is. And this one was taken from a billboard in Spokane, Washington at sunset. So, but usually it's just the deep red that you'll see with the word love on it. So,
yeah. It's beautiful, and that's just really
yeah.
passing on an inspiring message. Because when you have a look at a billboard that just says love with no advertising, it's just spreading that message. I think it goes very, very deep when someone looks at it to think someone went through the effort of just spreading this message and just, spreading it through the medium that they can. I want to ask you a question. Uh, what's the deep message that you're wanting people to feel when they look at these billboards?
You know, there was a period of time where I wanted to go up with a clipboard and go, "How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it?" But then I, finally realized that love is so that anybody can take that word and go, well, I want to put more love to my children, or I want to put more love just out into the world, or, to, the homeless, people in prison in all sorts of different ways. And let going of all attachment to that word love and just letting everybody use it for however they want to do it. I had one lady, email me and she said, "Why did you take that money and put it out for, St. Jude's or for, the homeless?" And I said, if it caused you to think about where you want to put your money, I think that's the most beautiful thing it could do, because it,
Mm.
it really raised her awareness. Like, how can I, put love out? And I gave her an idea where she could do it. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
but yeah,
That's awesome.
everybody is going to be different. Everybody's going to see it differently, and there's probably a million different ideas about what does that mean.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of not putting any advertising on it, or a website or a URL or anything like that. It's like, who does that kind of deal? So
Yeah. It's so
yeah.
different. It's so different, unique, and it passes on a very clear message. So one of the questions we ask here is, how can this community help most? What is it that they can do? Any actions they can take to support you the most? And who can they send your way that would be a good collaboration or connection?
Well, if anybody knows a billionaire that wants to help finance this, it would be great, you know, because you'd always look, well, maybe a philanthropist would like to put some money with this. Um, but, if anybody wants to help out Jennifer Forrester in putting a billboard up in Australia, that's great. If anybody's listening from the States that wants to put a billboard up in the United States, I can surely help them and coach them around that whole idea. Um, we can always use funds because it is a 501c3 in the United States, and so we just bring in your money. You can contribute on loveoneverybillboard.com, and then we can put up a billboard in your city and stuff.
I think I
But
might know.
that's
I might know some people who can help out here in Melbourne.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I was collaborating with a gentleman um, late last year, and before all of COVID hit, we were going to do a program together, and he was going to use a billboard for advertisement. So I think he knows some people in the industry, and they very, very much come from a heartfelt place. So I know some people I can connect and ask some questions and see who I can connect you with. But
That'd
if
be cool.
if if I can get a billboard up here in Melbourne, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. That'd
What
be a
is
lot
it?
of
What is
fun.
it? What is it? One question, because I'm already thinking about this. What do I do when
Okay.
I make this billboard happen? Do I take a photo of it and put it on your website, or what happens?
You can easily do that. You can put it on the website. We can connect, and I can share it that we did it on. You can come up with your own. In New Zealand, they did a Love on Every Billboard New Zealand um, Facebook group, and so they brought money all into that group, and you
Cool.
guys could do that the same thing. Yeah, and I think And in fact, I know Jennifer's already got something started like that, the
Okay,
Australian
awesome.
Love on
Just got
Every
to add me.
Billboard. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Obviously, as coaches, this is what we do. We think with the goal, like the outcome in mind, and we work back. So what do I need to be thinking, feeling, and acting in a way where it's already done? And that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
I love that. I love that.
Jennifer to add me in whatever group she has here in Australia or whatever she's starting. If she needs help there, I'll reach out and add some support. Anything else that you think can comes to mind in terms of how we may be able to help or serve?
I think just holding love in your hearts, I think that is such a great thing for everybody to do. We think, there's so much stuff going around in the world, with the COVID and this and that. And, in America, we've got our own issues, but if everybody could just hold love so much more deeper in their hearts, I think that's one of the biggest things we can do for ourselves, because we bring more love to our inner child, our inner self, and then can exude that out to everybody else.
Yeah.
I always think about, what would it be like if we could just love ourselves even more, and then how much more we could give to everybody else. So
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. Beautiful. Awesome, man. Thanks so much for jumping on.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being of support, sharing your mission, and thanks for following your heart in creating this campaign, because you're doing awesome work, and it spreads an empowering message. So thanks so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Awesome. You're very welcome. So that is John, everyone.
All right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What an empowering message, hey? And this is one thing that is a message not only to our personal lives, but also to our business as well. Every morning, I basically just wake up and meditate for however long, and just not only just resonate in a state of love, but just send private blessings and just to share love with all of you and everyone in the community, my clients, people that I'm about to meet. When you come from that place of love and you're just sharing that, and you're just coming from a place of authenticity and vulnerability and openness, how isn't that a great way to start a business connection, and to start a place where you're both combining your heart and being in a space of how can we serve together? How can we create more love in this world? How can we add more value to this world in our own unique way that is divine energy flowing through us, right? That's our Dharma. It's beautiful. Awesome. So thanks for sharing, John. Now, Tress, are you ready to jump on? Let me know if you're keen. She is. If anyone else wants to jump on after Tress, then we can organize that. So feel free to get ready. Also, before I invite Tress on, let's take a moment. If anyone has a podcast, if you host a podcast, or if you're looking to be a guest on a podcast, feel free to put all of your links, all of your information in the chat. Make sure you chat set to all panelists and attendees, and put all of your links there so that we can leverage our networks to provide some really cool platforms for people. So there's Dan. Dan has an awesome podcast. I've been on it. Many people on here have been on it. If you're wanting to share your voice, if you're wanting to share your experience, your journey, Dan's coming from a place of your story matters. So if you want more guests on your podcast, if you want to be a guest on a podcast, it's awesome exposure to not only introduce yourself to a new audience, but also really cool to develop that connection and everything like that. So here's the creative way in which you could do this. So you can reach out to Dan, even if you don't want to be a guest, you can reach out to Dan or anyone else who has a podcast and ask them, who can I send your way that would be a great guest, right? It's about being creative, about being resourceful, about coming from a place of service so that people can, people can add more and more value to this world. And like John says, spread more love, deeply spread more love. Awesome. Tress, let's make this happen. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
It is. It very much is. And this is what we're all about. We're all about having a good experience, having a fun time, and meeting some cool people. So I know you wanted to jump on last week in the form of Dan pushing you forward.
I was going to say, let's blame Dan for that one.
Yeah.
As so many of the good things in my life, it's all his fault.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. A lot of us can say the same. I'd
Yeah,
love
I
to
get
give you
that.
the floor for a bit. If you want to introduce yourself and let us know what it is you're up to, then feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Again, just this is awesome. I love the community that you've built here. I've already met some amazing people. Um, I am having an awesome time talking with Lee. What a guy.
Mm.
I am a life coach, and that is where my primary focus has been for the last year and a half. Um, I've been thinking about this kind of all day because it's 8:30 p.m. here in Michigan. So I've been thinking about this sort of all day and thinking about different things that I may want to say or what is it that I want the community here to know about me. And your reminder that we are here to help and that we are here to serve and that that's what this community is built around really brought back a story that just happened the other day. And so that's actually what I would like to share with everybody.
Go for it.
There is somebody in my stepdad's life that he's known for as long as I've known my stepdad, for probably 20 years. And this woman is really nice, very kind, and in a former life I was a house cleaner, and so I cleaned for her for a little while, and it just didn't kind of work out. And it wasn't it wasn't like an animosity sort of situation, but it just didn't work out. And this was 6 years ago, probably, was the last time that I had seen her. And my stepdad came to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, my friend needs some help. Is this particular situation something that you can help with?" And I was like, "Gosh, I don't know if I can, but I can already think of a couple of people in my network that would be able to be good resources for this person if I can't get the right answers sort of on my own. I'm going to go ahead and go over and sit down, talk with this person, see what happens." And so I did. And it turned out that the minimal information I had was really everything that she needed in order to move forward with this situation. And so that was able to really quickly resolve. And so just by being willing to say yes to an opportunity to be helpful, I was actually able to be very helpful to this person and to help her move forward in kind of some big ways. And then we were hanging out and chit chatting and catching up. And what is it that you're up to now? And so I mentioned, I was like, I'm a life coach. I work with people who feel like they're sort of externally successful, but internally feel like they're struggling or they're stuck or there's a lot going on and they feel really overwhelmed. And she looked at me and she said, "Well, how does that work?" And I said, "Well, this is kind of the process that we go through. We do a discovery call, or we get together and we sit down and we have sort of an introductory session and see if we work well together. And if you need more than that, then we can talk about the different options that you have going forward. Do you need something short term or something long term?" And she was like, "Okay." So on Monday, I had my introductory session with her, and she is now a regular client. I'm going to start working with her like next week. But it was just that reminder at the beginning of this, bringing this community together of when you focus on where you can be helpful, regardless of what that help actually is, and is it something that you're getting paid for? It wasn't. I showed up because I could be helpful. I could maybe be helpful. I didn't even know that I could guaranteed be helpful, but I could maybe be helpful to this person. And, that led to, how else can I be helpful? How else can I support you, love you, help you figure out how to stand on your own 2 feet again? And that reminder really shifted a lot of things for me. Dan knows probably better than anybody that last week was a really hard week for me. I was feeling a lot of self-doubt. I was feeling a lot of anxiety in my own business. I've only been at this for a year and a half. And I feel like I've been at this for a year and a half. Like,
Yeah.
of course I should be making like millions of dollars, right? Which is bananas. That's, paying attention to social media editing. that so many choose to use in their own lives. And I was like, okay, chill. At a year and a half old, I was still learning how to walk. I've got a long way to go still. That's okay. This is a baby business still. I'm still working on it. And so to have that really hit home in such a way for me was wonderful. It was such a great experience, and it has really shifted how I feel in my own skin and in my own mental health and just in the world around me. I feel like the flowers are a little bit brighter, the sunshine is a little bit warmer, the birds are a little bit prettier. Like, I'm just appreciating all of the things that are around me a little bit better, because now I'm looking for opportunities to be helpful as opposed to opportunities that might be a way to build my business. And it just feels like a better place to come from.
No wonder you're a good fit in this community, hey? Because that's what we're all about, and that's a beautiful story, because when you act from a place of I can help here, and it feels like a calling, feels like a pull, feels like it's in alignment to serve here. That's really what leads to whatever's meant to lead to. That can sometimes lead to more frustration and doubt, because that's what you're meant to work through at that time. But like you said, it also leads to unpredictable clients or business partnerships or collaborations or exposure that you have no clue about, right? There's so many different ways. And I love to know that. I think that's what's missing in business. A lot of you saw my post, which is why I'm putting together this beta course, is because I think that what you said there is missing in business, where a lot of people are starting to realize if I operate from my heart and I operate from a place of service, operate from a place that's my highest self, and separate myself from all outcomes, then what actually flows will either be one, the higher opportunities that my mind can't see, or two, the lessons that I know I'm meant to learn. And that sometimes is in the form of stress or doubt or worry. This is why I meditate 2 hours a day. It's because I often just sit there and I just feel this doubt or this frustration, understanding that I've opened up a safe enough space for this 5-year-old to come to my conscious awareness, to be seen and to be transcended. And that's a beautiful part of the process as well. And so whether it's the higher level opportunities or whether it's the lessons that we're meant to learn, I think that's a beautiful, heartfelt place to build a business. And I'm just looking for creative ways to help people expand in that way. And you're doing the exact same. And so is Dan and everyone else on here who is, helping people spread that message. So how can people in this community most help you right now in terms of your next steps or what you're looking to achieve?
My biggest want, need, desire, everything is more of what brought me so much joy last year that has been so much harder in this digital space. And it's just connecting with new people. So whatever that looks like, if that's shoot me an email or let's jump on a call, or good luck getting rid of me now. You're going to see me every Tuesday night, my time, Wednesday morning, your time. From here on out, you're stuck with me. But I love meeting people and hearing their stories. My dad was a big proponent that everybody is interesting if you just give them the chance to talk. And so that's what I'm looking to do, is just hear people's stories, because everybody's got something really amazing and beautiful and cool and exciting, and just I can't live all 7 billion lives, right? But if I meet all 7 billion people, then I get to taste a little experience of all of them, and that's really cool. So that's what I'm looking for.
Awesome. Well,
I
you're
love making
welcome.
new friends.
Yeah, totally. And every week I try and do what I can to have more and more new and friendly faces join these calls. So yeah, you'll definitely meet some cool people on here, and that's what it's all about. And I love the saying that the most interesting person is the most interested person. And it seems like you're one of those interested people who just wants to hear stories, get to know everyone, and get a little taste of their special, insightful genius. And that's what I guess helps you bring light to the world.
I view my my vocation and my calling is helping people find their own light to be able to bring it to the world, right? Like it took me 30 years to find my own. So if I can speed that process up for others, just even just a little,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. The world would be a little bit brighter.
Beautiful. So feel free before you leave, even just after you jump off here, put your links in the chat, and make sure people can connect you, whether it be email or your Facebook profile or something like that. Feel free to just put that in there so people can easily reach out and connect. That reminds me, I do have the Slack link as well for people. I'll put that in there in a second. But is there anything else that you want to share, Tress? Anything that you want to share with the community?
I am so grateful to be here. This is such a spectacular way to end my evening. This is, talk with everybody, get to read through all of the chat, and then start doing the like take the dog for a walk and go to bed. Like this is such a great way to sort of start the week and end the day. I really appreciate everything that you do, Tyson. I think that you're really spectacular.
That's all good. My pleasure. It's what I do. It's just me. This is my dharma flowing through my heart, and everyone's doing the same. So this is just my thing.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for popping on. That's Tress, everyone. She's about to put her links in the chat. So first of all, Tress, make sure you chat set to all panelists and attendees. Where's my sign? But that's what's so beautiful here. If anyone else wants to share what they do, first of all, type in 1 if you want to pop on with me. If you want to jump on for a chat and share what it is you're all about, feel free to type 1 in the chat. But also, if you just want to share your, just in the chat box, if you just want to share what you're all about, what you're looking to do, how to connect with everyone, feel free to put that in the chat as well. This is what it's all about. We all just share our links, share everything here, and make it happen. So I'll grab the links. Everything that happens on here also happens in the Slack channel as well. So that's the Slack link to join and to give you the opportunity to jump offline here and share what you're all about, who you're looking to connect with. Basically, everyone who's jumped on these calls is on there as well, so you can reach out, send personal messages, and be able to have some more leveraged conversations as well. So feel free to jump on there and share what you're all about, how people can connect with you, what you're looking to who you're looking to connect with in terms of ideal clients or key sources of collaboration. We do all that on there. So that's it's always a really good platform. And so let me see here. Barbara wants to jump on. If anyone else wants to jump on, just type in 1. We'll see if we can do some rapid fires. But Barbara's always up to some really, really cool things. If anyone wants to, I know a lot of you have already replied to my post on my personal page. I threw out an invite to any light workers who are wanting to combine spirituality with their business growth. And so this is going to be a really, really cool program I'm working on. I need beta testers. So anyone wanting to go through a program where we build our businesses from our heart and build our businesses from a place that's in alignment. It's really for those who are looking to really grow their business to about 5 or 10K a month. If you're looking to increase your growth in that regard, and you're looking to do it in a way that's aligned, in a way that's fun, in a way that's passionate, I'm really looking to help people find their messaging, their purpose, and their marketing strategy so that they can house all of that and basically do what I do here is have fun and build your business at the same time and do your dharma. And if you can connect your business growth with your spirituality and your spiritual growth, man, it just feels good. It just feels awesome. So anyone who thinks it might be a good fit and who might want to jump in that, send me a personal message, and I'll be spreading more and more details about the program coming up in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, you'll see on my personal page that post got a lot of engagement. I can't take on everyone because it's going to be an intimate program, but I'll be looking to reach out to those and find out who's the right fit for both of us, to see if that's the sort of growth that you're after and if you're going to be great for the program. So that's my subtle invite, my shameless plug there. Let's invite Barbara on so she can shamelessly plug herself as well. Let me find your name. Hello, Barbara. When your Zoom catches up, feel free to say hi. Also, Sarah Hansen, feel free to reach out and send me a message if you're interested in that beta program. Barbara, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing well. You jumped on the group coaching call last week as well, I believe.
I was
last week or the week before, something like that. And so we're definitely making a habit of this. It's a habit I don't want to break.
I know. We have to keep meeting it. We got to keep meeting this way. Anyways, today I had one of those overwhelmed moments that just and then it was like, Barbara, for heaven's sakes, channeling Tyson here. And it was like, what's coming up? And just I had taken on too much for today. But then one last call, I had talked to a 23-year-old. And it turns out that we live in the next town to each other. We know a few of the same people, but he was so appreciative. And he was like, oh, wow, Barb, because I was telling him a couple of things about my SEO stuff, which I don't normally talk about. But the thing that I'm excited about, I do bank, the personality assessment, the personality. We are having a $1 masterclass coming up starting August the 6th. And it's $1. You get to use all the tools. And one of the things that is there, we're really working on the coaching. If somebody wants to become a certified coach, we can. We're offering that. But they're going to be talking about all the 6 intelligences. And the heart-centered ones, which are the emotional intelligence that we all have within us and how to develop it, the personality to how to deal with, how to get to know other people and how to connect with them, and also the spiritual intelligence. And then once we have those things in place, then we have the right mentality and the right spiritual, exactly what we're talking about tonight, to do the business and to do the sales and to do the artificial intelligence, to help all of those things to build your business. And it is just going to be an amazing $1 masterclass. And I put the link in at the beginning, but I'll put the link in again to the Eventbrite, and for $1. And right now the Eventbrite, the link itself is not in there, but you can get the ticket in there.
Awesome. Just
sign up for the ticket, and then once I get the tickets, they're still coming from the company, but you'll be able to for $1.
Okay, beautiful. One thing I want to ask you, because from what you're saying, I think a lot of people can use some insight. What advice would you have to someone who is looking to market and sell in a way that's aligned, in a way that's heartfelt? What advice would you give someone that's in that space?
One of the things that I said to this young man that I talked to this afternoon, because he's 23, and I said, he told me something that he had done, and I said, well, that's because you're heart-centered, and that was the inspired action. And that's why tonight I had no intention of coming on, and I was just going to put this in the chat that if anybody was interested. And then it was like, no, Barbara, Tyson said, and it was like, okay, I need to actually physically come on and share this. And that's exactly what happens in business or in life. Like the other day, I was out for the day. I just had a fun day. Myself personally went on a Harley ride, went on a boat ride, just the whole fun thing. And on the way home, it was like, you know what, Barbara, you need to stop at your girlfriend, my other girlfriend, Mary. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I've had a fun day. I want to just go home. And it was like, yeah, no, go. And I went. And I walked in the door, and she's like, I am so glad that you're here. Because I just felt her, it was like a calling that I needed to go and visit her. for just out of the blue. And she was like, I have just been feeling so depressed all day. She's finding out that the house she's living in is being sold. Is she going to be able to stay there? The whole 9 yards. And that is when that heart, what you talk about all the time, when you get that little nudge, don't ignore it. That's the biggest piece of advice for whether you're dealing in something in your life or in something in your business. Do not ignore that little voice. Like for me, I'm a woman of faith, so to me it's the Holy Spirit that's just coming up and saying, Barbara, just do this. Don't look to the right, don't look to the left, just go forward and take action on that nudge, even if it's so simple and you think, what difference is that going to make?
Yeah.
But it makes so much difference.
Totally. I can speak to the same, definitely, in terms of when you're coming from a place, especially in the world of business, in the world of marketing, in the world of numbers, everything like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because we can plan out, a marketing plan for someone that's very heady, very masculine, which is beautiful as well. But sometimes you get that heart's nudge that says this just feels aligned and this feels like a pull, and then your mind doesn't know why. I'm always like, go for that pull, because you're being guided by something that's bigger than what your mind can see. And so that will lead you, like with Tress, that will lead you to the higher level opportunities or the lessons you're meant to learn, but you have to trust that as well. And that's why I think spirituality can be injected in your business growth in a way where you can grow consistently, but you can also follow your heart's guidance. You can also couple that with your spiritual growth. I think growing a business is the biggest spiritual journey on the planet, because even, especially like you will coach a lot of people who have issues with, hang-ups around selling and around money. And I'm like, that's the biggest, spiritual gift we can give ourselves, because if we are tied up with selling, obviously that comes back to a form of resistance or a hang up we have around money and around scarcity, right? But if you truly, like when I look at my clients and I look at everyone here, I see someone that has divine energy flowing through them, right? You have whatever you want to call it, Holy Spirit, God, the Tao, whatever you want to call it. You have that flowing through you with endless possibility. Anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. And you have that flowing through you, right? Abraham says the energy that creates worlds, whatever you want to call it, it's flowing through you. And if you don't see that in your network, in your clients, in your prospects, if you don't see that flowing through them, then you're going to have that emotional hang up around selling and money. But if you see the truth of who and what they are, you know that money is just energy. And if they invest in their spiritual growth, that's going to come in endless abundance, right? And that's sort of what you teach as well.
Right. And that's it. Today, the young man I was talking to, because I'm obviously not in my 20s, when I was talking to him and just telling him a little bit about banking, because we had originally connected because we're both doing a ClickFunnels challenge. And and this was just all timing, he happened to scroll through one of the things on the ClickFunnels, which he said he doesn't normally do, saw that I live in Cortland, Illinois. Well, he lives in Sycamore, Illinois, which is the next town over. So he friended me on Facebook and said, you know what, you're part of the ClickFunnels challenge. Do you want to connect? I went, okay, because I live in Sycamore. I live in Cortland, and he lives in Sycamore. Well, today he said, we were talking about what he does and what I do. And so I was just telling him about this master class. And he said, oh, this is just what my family needs right now. Because he was having some challenges within his family. And I said, well, one of the things that I do with people is I show them how to, like we call it, cracking their code, so they see their personality code. But then everybody does it, and then everybody compares. And the insights that you get, whether it's in a business or in a family, oh, that's why you do that, and that's why you're driving me crazy. Or that's why you do that, and that's how we can work together.
Yeah.
Or that's why you do that, and we need to tweak our team so that we get the right people working together. And he was like, oh, I'm going to have them do that. You know, plus he's going to come on the master class because he already saw the thing that he's going to be able to use it in his new career that he's just starting to be the most effective, has a 23-year-old just starting out. So it'll give him credibility with his new employer.
Mm.
He's so excited because you never know. It all started because why did I join a ClickFunnels challenge?
Yeah, who the hell knows? It just felt right. It just felt
Who knew? It just felt right.
That's awesome. Is there anyone else you're looking to connect with? So you feel free before we end the call to add those links.
Yeah, let me just put it in. Let me put it in
in the chat box.
Let me put it in
so
the
people can
chat
join.
box. So
And,
if anybody,
is there anyone else we can send your way?
Whoops.
Or anyone you're looking to connect with?
Actually, I am looking to connect with some midlife widows. I'm right now considering that I am going to do a Get Your Sass Back retreat for widows. Because, as you know, I'm a widow, and when I lost my husband, I just was like lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why meeting you has been such a great thing. And so now I just want to pass it on. So I want to do a retreat for widows. So if anybody has a widow that would be interested in just chit-chatting with me, just to ask a few little questions, just to get some feedback on what I'm planning to do.
Beautiful.
So that would be amazing. And
Beautiful.
You can just have them PM me.
So reach out to Barbara. And you said you're not in your 20s, neither am I. I'm not in my 20s. So if anyone
not in my 20s.
Anyone can guess, am I 30 or am I 19? Who knows? Who knows?
Okay, I'm going to brag for a moment. I just turned 70.
Wow.
And most people, it's like, you're what? Yeah, I just turned 70.
Where does all your energy come from?
Listening to you, because I have freed myself of the stuff that was draining my energy.
That's it.
Because now it's like, hey, you know what? Where are you, and where is this coming up? And so it's just been amazing to be able to just get in touch with that and be aware of it. Like today, when my overwhelm came up, it was like, Barbara, yeah, where's this coming from? Just to be aware of it. And okay, yeah, no, I need to change that. And this is what I'm going to do to change it. And it just really passes off. And so it's just amazing.
Beautiful.
But I owe it all to you, because it just channels. I channel you in my brain so often.
It's so funny to me that people are like, I'm trying to channel my inner Tyson. I'm like, where's my inner Tyson? That is me.
Well, I keep telling you, my next man, I want him to have an Australian accent. And I've told you that several times.
And I know anyone who's trying to put on an Aussie accent that isn't Aussie, it's always so bad, especially those in North America, Canada, or the States. Man, it is just so bad. It's always comes out British, but I mean, it's all in good fun. Yeah. So thanks for jumping
it's all in good fun.
Finish up. But yeah, feel free to, you put your chat to all panelists, so only I can see your So copy and paste with all panelists and attendees.
Copy and paste.
So we'll finish up now, but thanks for jumping on. Everyone's going to connect with you and see how they can jump on that masterclass and connect you with Middle Life Widows. But thanks for jumping on. I'll look forward to seeing you. We'll probably jump on tomorrow for the group coaching call. So I'll see you there.
I should be. I'm planning to be there. So unless something comes up, but I'm planning to be there. So Beautiful. Yeah, it's always so good.
Thanks so much, Barbara. Take care. Awesome, guys. We'll finish up in a minute. Feel free to add any more links, guys. Any more links that you'd like to share with the group. Always a pleasure. If you just want to spend a couple minutes after this call just breathing, right? Just getting present, just realizing that energy that's flowing through all of us and that connects us all. It really is something to be mindful of, and really is something to cherish, because we all have that. We're all here to serve. We are all here in our unique and divine ways to add value to the world. And it's just been a pleasure to be able to do this. So thank you so much for joining. if you want to, if you're thinking of ways in which you can help other people and serve other people, and things aren't really coming to you, feel free to help with the growth of this group as well, with the growth of these sort of calls. And so if you want to, I know a lot of people have jumped off, but if you want to be part of the growth of these calls, type two in the chat, and I'll feel free to reach out, and we'll see how we can collaborate or work together in ways in which we can grow this group, and always bring in new people, inspiring people, so that you can have not only more people to meet, but more people to collaborate with. And so I'm always looking for members who want to just share their heart in sharing this group and collaborating with this group and helping it expand. And so even if you just want to have a Facebook post, just a written post that says, hey, I just jumped on this awesome call, and if you want to join for next week and meeting some heart center business owners, that always helps as well. And then you can just share them the Zoom link, which I can provide. And that really does help. It really does help to, introduce new people to this type of concept and new type of energy. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you if anyone wants to jump on the group coaching call at same time tomorrow, same time as this call, but tomorrow. That's the group coaching call where we dive in deep into some really, really deep stuff, and personal growth is all aspects of that. So thanks so much for joining, guys. Thanks so much for being of service. Thanks so much for coming from your heart. Have a great rest of your week. I can't wait to share the video with Zoe. Thanks for your wishes, guys. Take care.